What is the future for the Western Balkans? In the wake of violent conflicts which have marked the recent history of the Western Balkan regions, the EU considers its priority to promote the development of peace and stability, prosperity and freedom in the countries of southeastern Europe. Today, the Western Balkans constitutes the main part of the EU's enlargement policy. The EPP-ED group devotes particular attention to relations with these countries. In this framework, the Bureau of the EPP-ED group held its meeting in Sarajevo, just 2 days after the initialling of the Stabilisation and Association Agreement between the EU and Bosnia and Herzegovina. The EU's engagement in South East Europe for peacekeeping, state building, regional cooperation, stabilisation and association process were the main topics of the 2-day exchange of views between the leaders of the EPP sister parties in the region and the MEPs. Vito Bonsignore, Vice President of the EPP-ED Group, welcomed the representatives of the sister parties in Bosnia and Herzegovina. The meeting took place in an atmosphere of great optimism, especially in view of the recent initialling of the Stabilisation and Association Agreement.
Se da un lato la stabilità della regione è considerata come priorità,
the stability of the region is a priority for the EU, and that's the reason we are here today, supporting the efforts of the EU and the UN in the Balkans. The EPP-ED group wants peace, stability and progress for the region as a whole, he concluded. Sulejman Tihic, leader of the Party of Democratic Action, echoed the words of Mr. Bonsignore.
Prije nekoliko dana parafirali sporazum o pridruživanju sa Europskom unijom.
He expressed hope that the signing of the SAA would take place by the middle of next year at the latest, when the country hopes to fulfil the remaining conditions: the implementation of police reform, reform of the public broadcasting service and full cooperation with the ICTY.
A kroz to će se vjerovatno i testirati naša evropska orijentacija.
Mladen Ivanic, leader of the Party of Democratic Progress, expressed satisfaction that after a deep crisis, the leaders of Bosnia and Herzegovina have managed to solve many important problems through agreement. He said it was a crucial test of whether the country is ready to do what Europe is doing on a daily basis, agree and compromise. The next important challenge to follow is a discussion on the post-Dayton constitution, which is on the agenda for next year. Both leaders especially thanked Doris Pack MEP, chairwoman of the delegation for South East Europe, for her continuous support and engagement in Bosnia-Herzegovina and the region. This region lies in the heart of Europe. It is surrounded by EU member states. Our engagement here is not because we love our kin, but because of a selfish attitude. If we don't help you now to build a stable and prosperous society, we will have to deal with the problem later on. The EU has failed in its Balkans policy. We cared more about the reunification of Germany in 1989 to 90. This was wonderful. We forgot, however, that at the same time our presence was needed here. EPP-ED Group Chairman Joseph Daul also addressed the meeting and met with representatives of the group's sister parties here in Bosnia-Herzegovina.
Et je lance un appel particulier ici à nos amis et des partis frères.
I appeal in particular to our sister parties in the region to take action so that the objectives set out for the region become a reality.
Et ça vaut vraiment la peine pour nos concitoyens. Nous pensons aussi aux investissements et cela est lié aux emplois.
He stressed that Bosnia and Herzegovina is in urgent need for national and international investment in order to fulfill the country's great potential, especially that of environmentally friendly energy.
Mais ces discussions ne doivent pas faire oublier les problèmes
He also emphasised that we must not overlook the everyday problems faced by ordinary people. For example, medical care, which is still woefully lacking for a large part of the population. This programme was brought to you by the press service of the EPP-ED group, the largest political group in the European Parliament. See you again soon.